Hi, how are you? This is Rosa Rubio Giotto from RCG Creations. Today I'm bringing to you the corner box card. And it's a really simple card to make. And here it is. And this is what it looks like when it's folded. And you see it's thin enough that you can put it in a regular envelope and mail it out. The envelope would be, this will fit a 6 by 4.5 envelope, because that's the measurement, 6 by 4.5. And the way it works is you open it up. And then there's the inside. And that's what I created. I wanted something simple, not too much, but the main gist was the old-time Santa was, I like the old-time Santies. I'm glad they're coming back in style. He was my main focal point. And the way it works is you fold the top. Let me do it backwards so y'all can see that. You fold the top, fold this one over, fold that one up, lift up on this corner, gently tuck it under without bending it, and there's your card. Nice and simple. I didn't do anything on the back because I wanted it nice and simple. And then I'm going to put it in the mail and it's going to go out to somebody. But let's go ahead and get started on that. What you want to do is you want to use the double-sided cardstock. I'm going ahead to save time on the videos. Is you want to go ahead and use double-sided, and the reason you want to do double-sided is because one part of it you can see the front, but when you open it you're going to see the inside. So unless you want it white inside anyway and you're going to stamp it, because of course you can decorate it with anything that you want, it's totally up to you. Just keep that in mind. And also keep that in mind too, that if you're using something with words, that you line up and you cut so they're not upside down. So keep that in mind. So here's I'm going to go down with the measurements here. You start off with a piece of cardstock, and you can have them two different colors. You can have them one color. That's up to you. It's a total personal preference. If that's one thing I like about this, is you start off with an 8.5 by 5 3/8 piece of cardstock, and you're going to score it at 2 1/8, and then 6 3/8, or you can just do it 2 1/8, turn it around, and then score it again at 2 1/8. Whatever's easier for you and your math and how you want to do it. Then you get the other piece of cardstock, same color if you want to, or separate. I like to do the two colors. That's just me. And you want to cut this at 4.5 by 11. So on both of these cardstocks, you can actually work with an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. You don't have to use a 12 by 12, and that'll make, and you can only make one out of that. It won't be enough to make two, but you can do that. And then what you want to do is you want to score this at 2 3/4, turn it around and do it at 2 3/4, or if you're not mathematically challenged like I am, you do it at 2 3/4, and then you score at 8 1/4. Okay. And then what you want to do is, this is the way it's going to look. Here's the long, narrow pieces. This is the 4.5 by 11. This is the 2 1/8 by 6 and the 8.5 by 5 3/8. I'm sorry about that. And that's the way it's going to fit. And I've got my little tick marks here because I just wanted to make sure I made everything correct, and I'll erase those before I decorate everything. Then you put your double-sided adhesive on the back of the center one, which is the 8.5 by 5 3/8 piece of cardstock. Okay, and then you're going to line it up here. So we'll go ahead and I've got my red double-sided adhesive. You could use wet glue with this if you don't want to use the double-sided adhesive, but it's totally up to you. The wet glue does give you a little bit of wiggle room. So if you're kind of new to card making or lining things up, or like some of us shake, you may want to use the red. So that gives you maneuverability. So what you want to do is line it up, this fold with this. It's going to be right here on the edges here. And that's how you know when you line it up. Or just make it easy. Fold it. This is the hard part that I have trouble with. is lining things up there and there. And then let me get my bone folder. Make sure that's stuck in adhesive. Let me get my little eraser, erase my little tick marks. That's what I use to know where I fold. This is what I use to know where I score. And then it's going to close just like that. It's just barely going to touch. And then this is going to fold in here, and it's just barely going to touch. Actually, this one doesn't really touch, but that's okay because it's not meant to touch anyway. Then you want to decorate it. And on the inside piece, you want a, let's see, the inside piece is a 5 1/4 by 11 1, 5 1/4 by 1/4. Did I do that right? Oh no, I'm sorry. It's 5 1/4 by 4-inch cardstock. And that's the center base here. And let me, you know, I could see this is off just a little. Actually, no, it's not. I didn't have it right. So I'm just going to get my ATG gun on here. And if you can, try to go all the way to the corner, because this is going to be open and close, and then also when you close it in and flip the inside cover, you want to make sure that all 4 corners are adhered to the inside of the card. Whoops. That was my ATG gun that went smack on my glass craft table. Sorry about that. Okay, and all I'm doing right here is just the little frays of the adhesive. I'm going to push them back just because I don't want them out. Got some fuzzies there. Okay, so now you're just going to line this up. Oh, also one more thing. If you want to, you can always ink it to give yourself a different look. But in this one, I'm not going to. I'll show you my first card that I made. I did ink it. And you'll see the difference. And again, that's just a personal choice on what you want to do. I'm going to get my bone folder. Make sure the adhesive is stuck. And then I'll show you here. You see on this original card, I did ink it with some gold. I went ahead and all the way around all of these on the flaps. And I ran around with the gold on there. So there it is with the gold edging, and this is the one without it. So again, it's a personal choice on how you want to do it. I personally like the colored. I wanted to decorate the flaps here a little bit. So what I've done is, I think I've measured myself out. And I'm going to do my little pieces here. But you know what? I can see that I'm off. And I can also see, forgot to erase my little tick mark here. That's where I was cutting. So always want to make sure you erase those little pencil marks if you do make them. Okay. I want to have a little bit of a border, but not too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on, that I'm going to cut off any excess. And you know what? I just forgot to see. Yep. You can give yourself a border if you want to. So this size, I'm not going to give you the measurements on here because it's totally up to you. Do you want to give yourself a border, or do you want it lined up totally against it? And I mean totally flushed all the way to the top. Again, that's a personal choice. Okay. And then keep in mind when you're using your decorative paper cardstock, I cut this one. I was very specific on my 12 by 12 sheet of paper. This is in a paper pack. Oh, I forget the name of it. I'm sorry. I'll try if I remember it. I'll put it in the comments down below, the description box. But I love this old stuff. See where it says postage and the postage stamp seal? You know how they used to do in the olden days. They don't do that no more. Oops. Let me get rid of my adhesive here. Excuse me, sorry about that. So let's get this guy here. kind of eyeballing it. I've got it down, but don't have it touching. Okay, and as you can see, I went off a little bit, but that's okay, because I'm just going to get my scissors and then just trim off the excess. And because I have adhesive on there, best thing for you to do is use scissors. These are Teflon coated scissors. They're made by Paper Studio. I think I got it was Michael's is where I got this at. And you see that I didn't get it all the way down close enough, so I got to recut it again. And actually this is going to work better if I close this. And then go this way. Actually, that's not going to work either. I'm just going to cut slow because I don't want to cut my cardstock. Just want to cut that extra piece there. There. So that took care of that. Now let me get the other piece on the top. Another thing you can do with this is just stamp with your stamps the flaps or the center. Put a white piece here in the center and then stamp it with a design or some words, whatever it is that you want to make. But these will also even work great for like a gift card. So you decorate it for like a holiday or whatever, and then you put your gift card on the inside so when they open up they see the gift card. So that's another idea you could do with this type of card. I don't know why they call it corner box card. I don't see how it's a corner, but I could be wrong. Whoops. Oh no. I didn't go down. If you're very careful with your adhesive, you can pull it off without ripping. Just be very gentle. See, and I did that. And let me do this upside down so I can see. And I want to get it to the edge. I'll give myself a little bit of a border. There we go. So pretty much I have the same kind of border here as I do on the bottom and on the center here. And you see how Sandy's hat was there? Because I just got a long piece and I cut it in half, and I did that on purpose. So you can do that with your paper and still give yourself a border. And you see there's the edge there on this one. So let me trim that off. And this time I did a lot better than that first time. See? Nice and easy. So that takes care of the flap on the inside. And then I'm going to, because I don't want a whole bunch of bulk, this is going to be going in the postal mail. I'm going to use my wet adhesive because this is cardstock, so it won't warp on me. And then I have another one here, and I colored it with some Spectrum Noir markers, sparkle pens, Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. And you see the little bit of shimmer there. I got them on his boots and on the white of his coat. And on the Christmas tree, you can see the little shimmer. And I did the same thing on this scene. I went ahead and covered, shimmered in with the whole thing. All of it. Just to give a little bling. And I'm just going to put this right here. Then let me get this other one here. And there they are. He's ready. Now I'm going to decorate. And you always want to make sure you know how you are doing this. Always varnish, so that way you get a nice crisp fold. And this is going to go here. And so this and this is here. And you can either flip it this way or you can flip it that way, but I'm going to do it this way. No, I'm sorry, this only goes one way. No, it doesn't. I did this wrong. Oh yeah, that's right, I did that wrong. Flip down here, and then flip over. Let's do that one more time. So the top one goes down first, the one on the right goes down second, the one on the bottom goes third, and the one on the left goes last, and you pull this up just a little bit. Don't do it too much because you don't want to bend it. And there you go. That's why you didn't really need it to titch, because of the bulkiness of the card itself. And that's how it closes. And it's best to decorate it this way. I'm just looking to make sure which is the top and which is the bottom. Make sure I didn't flip that around. I did that once. I flipped it around and made it. And it's like, oh, put everything upside down. And then what I did is I just cut some of these pieces, and I want them to have each one to have a certain message. Like this one says, "Best wishes for a Merry Christmas." And you see that? I hope it's in focus. This one here says, "Postal Service, Air Mail Service." And there's that, and I want all this to be focal points on each corner. And this one says, "Christmas greetings." And the bottom part you can see where's the postcard with a postmark date there on there. And then this one says, "Postcard, a very Merry Christmas to you." And there's a cute little chubby little Santa. I think that was so cute. So now I'm just going to put wet adhesive, because again this is cardstock. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to warp on me. If it's paper, paper does tend to warp when you're using wet adhesive. But it does dry, but sometimes it dries and it bubbles up on you. And then you just decorate this any way you want. I want to give myself a little bit of a border, not a whole lot. Okay. And then let me decorate this next one. Put this one right here. Gave myself a little border. This one. I'm going to put that one on that side. That one had words. That one has words. This one has a little. That one just has a little. But you can decorate how, whatever makes. A lot of times when you're decorating, not when you're putting something together, it's keep in mind who you're sending it to, of what you think they would like. And again, you could have inked the edges of this, but I wanted this one to be really simple compared to the first one. Because if you see in the first one here, I put the little these little beads here, the little rhinestones on it, so I made it a little bit more fancy. But this one, I'm thinking I'm going to give it to a male cousin. That's why I picked these colors, the brown and the tan and the blue for the main cardstock. Because I wanted it to be nice, but I didn't want it to be too girly. That's why I only did a little bit of the sparkle on the inside of the card, not on the outside. And again, that's because I know this is going to be going to a male, an adult male. And you don't want to, most men don't like all of the frilly, girly stuff. Could be wrong, but I think most men don't. And then I've got this little die cut. It's on a cut of sparkle, and then there's a little sticker right there on top. And let's see, where am I gonna? I think I'm gonna put him. I don't want to cover up those messages. And it's okay if you go over a little bit, because nothing's gonna ever happen to it, because it's still gonna stay inside and it's still gonna go in the envelope. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Is this a sticker? Actually, okay, yeah. This adhesive is starting to come apart on this one. All of this is cut twice, and then you glue it together out of the sparkle the sparkle cardstock. And it was coming out. This is actually something from last year that was in my stash here. And that happens, but there's nothing, you could tell there's nothing wrong with it. Just the adhesive come loose, and that's what happens during, it's sitting around for a year, and that's just what glue does. I'll close that up, make sure that's stuck good, because I don't want this to pop open. Actually, I think I'm going to put that on a pop dot. Nah, you know what, I'm not going to, because I don't want this to be too bulky when I ship it. And then again, this is going to a mail. So I'm going to put, I don't want to cover up that Santa, I don't want to cover up the message, I don't want to cover up the bird, the little teddy bear. So let's put this right here. I'm trying to line it up so this way it's not totally off. I want to see most of the message. That's what I'm going to do. I didn't actually have to put any glue on that end, but I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to take up some of this glue because we really don't need it here. And let this one put pressure just on this side, not on the other side, because we don't want that to close. Okay, so there's that, and then what I did is I die cut these little ho-ho-hos, because this is all Santa, so they're hos, and then I ho-ho-hos, and then I used my red berry sparkle pens, and made them shiny. I've got to have some kind of bling, even though I know this is for a male. I don't want to put a little too much, but most men are understanding and they know, especially when it's a homemade card. And then let's go ho right here. And then usually I just put little dots, just barely squeeze on my glue bottle. And then just little dots, I hope you can see that, little dots pop open. Let me see that, let me see where the glue, and that makes it easy so it does, everything sticks and nothing comes apart. Ho, ho, ho. I'll put it up here because I don't want to take away from that little message or that little tag. Let me close my glue bottle up. And there is the completed project. So it says ho ho ho, joy. First thing you see is Merry Christmas, because that's the first thing your eyes are going to go to is the little tag. And it says Merry Christmas, so that automatically tells everybody this is a Christmas card. You can tell just by looking at it it's a Christmas card. But you don't really have to say too much or get too wordy or get too fancy and totally embellish it and stuff. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. And it's still a cute card. And because it's different, it's not a regular everyday just open fold or flip over card. It's something different. I think your recipient will appreciate that. Then when they open it, there is the inside, and again there's the message. If you want to, you can put a little message in here. I'm choosing not to. Okay, I just don't want to because I don't want to take away from the whole emphasis of the paper itself, the cardstock. Because everybody knows that's a message. And then here's a little Santa here, and here's a little Santa here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my white gel pen, and on the back, let me close this back up. See how easy that is? And on the back, there's plenty of room to write your little message. Whatever personal message is. And you can see where I'm off just a little bit here. See how that's off there? So let's see of a way to fix that. Yep, I can definitely fix that. That would be going by and bending it just a tad. And using your bone folder and pressing down, and this is the part where it's going to be kind of hard. You see that, how I bent it even more? I don't want to go too much more. I mean, I can. I could definitely do that. And all I'm doing is pushing down on it where it's supposed to be. And pressing down on that. Oops. Hold it down, because what you're doing is you're going with through four layers of cardstock. So it does tend to get a little hard. So let's close it. Oops, backwards. Close that, then that, then that, and then there. And you see how we're doing all this maneuvering? So you want to be careful not to put too much bulk on the inside. That's why I'm saying if you did it flat, or stickers, or flat cardstock like I'm doing here, paper, it's going to make it easier because you don't want it to get too bulky. And then there is your completed card. And then here is the first one that I made. Okay, going over. And there you are. Two different cards. Pretty, you know, two different colors, but it's going by, I'm using the color cardstock based on the main design theme that I'm using. So thank you so very much. Again, this is called a corner box card, and I got this from YouTuber Stamp Static Designs. That's STAMPTASTIC Designs. So I'm sure it's called Stamptastic Designs. She had posted this on her site back in July 31st, 2019, so check her out on YouTube. And she's got a lot of great ideas on her channel. And I thank you so very much for watching. Please hit like and share. We'd love to get some more subscribers to my channel. And post any kind of comments you'd like. And again, in the detailed descriptions, I will have more detail. But basically what it is the main piece is 8.5 by 5 3/8. You're going to score at 2 1/8. If you turn it around, score the other end at 2 1/8. The long piece is 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score at 2 3/4. Turn it around and score the other end at 2 3/4. Then you just stick it in this middle in the center, and then decorate it how you want to. And it is better if you decorate it when it's totally closed versus when it's open. And believe me, take it from me, I've tried this. It is a lot easier, better if you decorate the front while it's closed. Believe me, it's going to be a lot better because you're going to be off, and something's going to be off. Unless you want it to be off, but you might. You know, because if you wanted to put this all the way to the end, all the way to the end, then you have this big gap in the center. You know, but it's totally up to you. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you so very much, and y'all have a great day. We'll see you at the next video. Take care.